We look at the stars and imagine ourselves as tiny spectators, floating in a cold, indifferent universe. But what if that's completely wrong? What if the universe isn't indifferent? What if it is quietly observing, testing, and responding to the very existence of life, to the tiniest sparks of intelligence? Most of us assume the cosmos is vast, timeless, and neutral. Stars form and die, planets spin, galaxies collide, and humans are just a flicker on a tiny planet. We are irrelevant, or so it seems. Yet, modern physics, cosmology, and complexity theory hint at a different picture. The universe isn't just unfolding, it is interacting. Not consciously, not with intention, but through the rules of stability, probability, and feedback. Every particle, every field, every configuration has a life or death probability. And in some sense, we are part of that dance. Every choice humanity makes, every burst of energy we release, every signal we send into space is a ripple. Some vanish immediately, some persist. Some even alter the local environment of space-time, matter, and energy in ways that are subtle but lasting. The very act of existing as an intelligent species is like placing a stone in a calm pond. The waves spread far further than we imagine. Imagine the universe as a laboratory, not a lab with human technicians, but a cosmic lab where the laws of physics are the experimenters. And life, intelligence, civilization, that's the data. From this perspective, the emergence of life isn't just a chemical accident. It is a rare, but potentially crucial, configuration that tests the limits of what matter can sustain. Life is fragile, intelligent life even more so. Most planets may harbor molecules, water, or even cells. But civilizations? Technological civilizations capable of emitting energy, manipulating matter, and observing the universe. Those are anomalies. They are tests of stability in a universe that favors endurance over complexity. Every innovation humanity produces, agriculture, electricity, computing, nuclear energy, artificial intelligence, doesn't just change us. It also tests the constraints of our planet, our solar system, and perhaps, in ways we cannot yet measure, the broader cosmic web. Complex systems, from stars to societies, obey the same principle. Fragility grows with complexity. A single layer of interdependence, a single new technology, a single environmental stressor increases instability. Consider the Earth. Our biosphere is robust, yet finely balanced. Introduce rapid technological growth, industrial energy consumption, climate change, and the system is pushed to its limits. Now, expand that to the cosmic scale. Imagine intelligent life as a set of probes, not just on a planet, but potentially altering planetary orbits, directing energy from stars, or even broadcasting across interstellar distances. Every action is a test. Every step forward is both an achievement and a potential failure point. In this light, the universe doesn't need to act intentionally to shape outcomes. It enforces stability through consequence. Unstable configurations, whether particles, stars, or civilizations, disappear. Stable ones persist. The silent, empty sky may not be empty at all. It may be a reflection of the universe quietly filtering out instability. Have you ever wondered why the night sky is so silent? Where are the signals, megastructures, or galactic civilizations? The Fermi Paradox puzzles scientists. If life is common, why do we see no evidence of it? Perhaps it is because life is easy to start but hard to maintain. Civilizations emerge, burn energy, alter their environment, and either stabilize or vanish. Most fail, not necessarily by catastrophe, but by subtly destabilizing the systems that allow them to exist. The universe has a great filter, but it is not a single wall. It is pervasive. Every step toward complexity tightens constraints. Every technological leap, every large-scale energy manipulation, every planetary intervention introduces potential collapse. The universe doesn't care about brilliance. It only preserves equilibrium. This is why the cosmos may be quiet. Not because we are alone, but because most civilizations never endure long enough to leave a trace. The universe self-cleans, leaving only configurations that are resilient, stable, and patient.
Even the most advanced civilizations are temporary phenomena. The more a society grows in complexity, the more fragile it becomes. Energy consumption accelerates. Environmental manipulation amplifies sensitivity. Technological progress narrows tolerance. Small disturbances cascade into large-scale instability. Civilization is a delicate arrangement of matter, energy, and information, one poorly managed feedback loop away from collapse. Every invention, every expansion of power, every signal sent into the cosmos is both a claim and a test. By emitting energy, by reshaping matter, we are effectively proposing new configurations of the universe. And the universe responds, not with awareness or judgment, but with consequence. Configurations that cannot endure simply vanish. The cosmos does not need to intervene. It enforces stability by letting the unstable decay. Consider the silence of space again. We may imagine it as a lack of intelligent observers. But what if it is a mirror? A reflection of the fragility of life? Civilizations may rise frequently, but they rarely last long enough to imprint themselves on the universe. Their signals fade, their planets drift, their stars continue, indifferent. Even galaxies, which seem eternal, are bound by the same principle. Instability removes configurations that cannot persist. The great filter is not a distant concept. It is embedded in every decision, every energy flux, every complex arrangement of matter. Intelligence is like a flame in a hurricane, brilliant, transformative, ephemeral. From the perspective of the cosmos, lasting equilibrium matters more than innovation, persistence more than ambition. Want to learn more about the universe? Check out Neil deGrasse Tyson's book, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. Purchase it using the link in the channel description. If we hope to endure, we must reconsider what success means. Expansion, speed, accumulation, and amplification are double-edged. They accelerate knowledge, but they accelerate instability. Civilization thrives in a narrow window of balance. Push too hard, and the system destabilizes itself. The universe does not correct us. It does not reward or punish. It allows and then removes. The lesson is uncomfortable but clear. Longevity is not about dominance. It is not about leaving a mark on the stars. True survival is quiet, subtle, and patient. The civilizations that last are those that respect limits they barely understand, that move in rhythm with the equilibrium that precedes them. Complexity must justify itself at every instant, or it will be erased. Humanity stands at a crossroads. We are aware enough to see the fragility of our systems. We manipulate energy, alter climates, build machines that reshape our environment. Each of these is a proposal to the cosmos. If we destabilize our planet, our solar system, or the broader environment, the universe will simply continue without us. Yet, there is opportunity. Awareness itself grants leverage. By learning to exist quietly, to slow expansion, to respect limits, we might prolong the lifespan of our civilization. Stability becomes the ultimate achievement, more crucial than conquest, more meaningful than discovery. Ambition is seductive. We assume progress is linear, that growth guarantees survival, that knowledge protects us. But ambition in a fragile system can be dangerous. Complex, optimized arrangements are brittle. Each new system adds sensitivity. Each acceleration reduces tolerance. Every global project, energy grids, AI networks, planetary engineering, introduces potential cascades that could unravel stability. Even stars, which seem eternal, obey this rule. Fusion balances gravity, a perfect equilibrium for billions of years. Introduce perturbation and destruction follows. Intelligence, in its energy-intensive brilliance, is no different. The universe does not favor it. It tolerates it, temporarily. Long-term persistence is rare. Civilizations that outlive their rivals are not always the smartest or the most advanced. Often, they are the quietest, most restrained, most aligned with the fragile rhythms of survival. They may not reach for the stars aggressively, but they endure. And in the grand scale of cosmic history, endurance is the only form of significance.
The most dangerous tests are the ones you do not know you are taking. Humanity often imagines cosmic threats as dramatic events, asteroid impacts, supernovae, alien invasions. But the true test of survival is quieter, slower, and far more subtle. It unfolds over decades, centuries, millennia. It is written into feedback loops, resource flows, and the balance between growth and restraint. The universe does not announce this test. There is no countdown, no warning signal. Civilizations fail not because they are attacked, but because they slowly exceed the limits of stability. Energy systems become too large to control. Ecological buffers erode. Information networks synchronize too tightly, allowing errors to propagate globally. By the time collapse becomes visible, it is often already inevitable. From a cosmic perspective, this is not tragedy. It is normalization. Systems that cannot regulate themselves dissolve back into simpler configurations. Matter rearranges. Energy redistributes. The universe remains calm. What makes humanity unique is not intelligence alone. It is awareness of fragility. For the first time, a civilization can see the contours of the test while it is still ongoing. We can measure climate feedbacks, model systemic risk, anticipate cascading failures. Awareness does not guarantee survival, but it creates a narrow path where choice still matters. The invisible test is this: can a civilization restrain itself before instability forces restraint upon it? In physics, observation is not passive. To observe a system is to interact with it. Measurement changes outcomes. This principle may scale far beyond quantum mechanics. Intelligent life observes the universe, and in doing so, alters it. We map stars, redirect asteroids, harvest energy, and encode knowledge into matter. Each act of observation becomes an act of intervention. The more precisely we understand our environment, the more power we gain to reshape it. And with power comes risk. A civilization that observes too aggressively, that manipulates too broadly, may destabilize the very systems it depends on. This is the paradox of intelligence. Understanding increases control, but control reduces tolerance for error. Perhaps the universe allows intelligence only as long as it remains observationally light, interacting gently, locally, reversibly. Once intelligence becomes extractive, expansive, and irreversible, it crosses a threshold. Not a forbidden line, but a statistical one. Collapse becomes more likely than endurance. This may explain why the cosmos appears untouched. The civilizations that last are those that leave minimal scars. They observe more than they exploit. They adapt more than they dominate. They understand that being an observer does not grant ownership. We often imagine the pinnacle of civilization as something vast: Dyson spheres, interstellar empires, galaxies reshaped by intelligence. But what if the most successful civilizations are nearly invisible? A civilization optimized for longevity would minimize energy waste, avoid large-scale restructuring, and limit irreversible actions. Its cities might blend into planetary cycles. Its technologies might prioritize reversibility over power. Its signals might be quiet, local, transient. Such a civilization would be almost impossible to detect across cosmic distances. No megastructures, no constant broadcasts, no dramatic signatures. From the outside, its star system would look ordinary. And that may be the point. In this view, the universe is not empty. It is discrete, full of intelligences that learned the same lesson early. Visibility correlates with vulnerability. To last is to blend in. Humanity, still loud and rapidly expanding, may be at its noisiest moment. A brief flare of energy, information, and ambition before either collapse or restraint. Right now, we exist in a narrow window. We are advanced enough to reshape our world, but not yet wise enough to fully control the consequences. Every generation inherits a slightly more constrained system. Choices compound, feedbacks tighten, the margin for error shrinks. The question is not whether humanity is intelligent enough to survive. It is whether we are restrained enough. The universe is not hostile. It is impartial. It does not punish mistakes. It simply allows their consequences to unfold. Survival, then, is not heroism. It is humility. It is learning when not to act, when not to grow, when not to optimize. If we pass this test, we may become something rare, a civilization that learned to exist without destabilizing its environment. Not rulers of the cosmos, not conquerors of stars, but participants in a long, quiet equilibrium. And if we fail, the universe will not remember us. Not because we were unimportant, but because endurance, not brilliance, is what echoes through time. Chapter 11. The Dangerous Myth of Progress. One of the most persistent myths humanity carries is the idea that progress is inherently good, that advancement naturally leads to safety, wisdom, and permanence. We assume that more knowledge equals more control, and more control equals survival. But the universe has never confirmed this assumption. Progress accelerates interaction. It increases scale. It tightens coupling between systems. A small failure in a primitive society remains local. A small failure in a highly connected civilization can propagate globally in seconds. The more advanced a system becomes, the less room it has for mistakes. History already reflects this pattern. Early human societies could collapse and be replaced without threatening the planet. Modern civilization operates at planetary scale. Our errors are no longer isolated. They resonate through climate systems, supply chains, information networks, and biospheres. Progress has magnified consequence. From a cosmic perspective, this is not exceptional. It is expected. Complex systems trade resilience for capability. The universe does not block this trade. It allows it and observes the outcome through natural law. If intelligence is a phase, then unchecked progress may be the mechanism that ends it. Chapter 12. Feedback loops we cannot escape. Every system survives through feedback. Stars regulate fusion through gravity. Ecosystems balance populations through resource limits. Civilizations rely on feedback too: economic signals, environmental responses, social correction. The danger arises when feedback becomes delayed, distorted, or ignored. Modern humanity experiences feedback too slowly. Climate responses take decades. Ecological collapse unfolds over generations. Technological risks scale faster than cultural adaptation. By the time warning signals are undeniable, the system may already be locked into collapse. This is not failure of intelligence. It is a mismatch of timescales. The universe operates patiently. Civilizations do not. Each generation inherits consequences without fully perceiving their origin. Responsibility diffuses. Accountability weakens. Action slows until the system corrects itself without asking permission. The universe does not need catastrophes to enforce balance. It only needs time. Chapter 13. Intelligence against itself. Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that intelligence contains its own destabilizer. To think is to predict. To predict is to optimize. To optimize is to remove redundancy. And redundancy is resilience. Biology understands this instinctively. Systems survive by inefficiency, extra organs, backup pathways, diversity. Intelligence, however, seeks elegance, efficiency, compression. It removes buffers to gain speed and power. Civilizations streamline supply chains, centralize energy, synchronize information, optimize everything, and in doing so, they reduce tolerance. The very trait that allows intelligence to rise may also ensure it remains temporary. Not through malice or error, but through internal logic. Intelligence sharpens itself until it becomes brittle. The universe does not oppose this. It simply allows the process to complete. Chapter 14. What the silence is trying to tell us. Look again at the silent sky. Not as absence, as evidence. Evidence that survival is rare, that endurance favors restraint, that the loudest phases of civilization are often the shortest, that visibility and vulnerability are deeply connected. The silence may not be a warning sent to us, but a lesson preserved by time, a pattern repeated so often that it has erased its own history. We may be standing inside that pattern right now, aware enough to see it, powerful enough to repeat it, uncertain enough to hesitate. The universe is not watching us with eyes or intent, but it is testing us in the only way it knows how, through consequence, probability, and time.
Shooting Star Final Chapter. The choice that remains. There is a moment every fragile system reaches, not when it collapses, but when it becomes aware of its own instability. This may be ours. For the first time in Earth's history, a civilization understands the scale of its influence. We see feedback loops forming. We recognize planetary limits. We model futures that do not include us. Awareness arrived before collapse, and that alone makes this moment extraordinary. The universe is not asking us to be great. It is not asking us to expand faster. It is not asking us to dominate space or rewrite nature. It is asking something far more difficult: restraint. To survive is not to win. It is to remain, to persist without destabilizing the system that makes persistence possible, to exist without demanding more than the universe can tolerate. Perhaps the civilizations that endure are not those that leave monuments among the stars. Perhaps they are the ones that learn when not to act, when to slow down, when to preserve redundancy, when to choose balance over brilliance. The sky is silent, not because nothing tried, but because only a few learn how to stay. We are still here, which means the test is not over. What happens next will not be decided by intelligence alone, but by whether intelligence can learn humility. If this perspective changed how you see the universe, even slightly, take a moment to like this video. It helps this idea reach others who are asking the same questions. And if you want more stories about the hidden rules of the cosmos, about intelligence, survival, and the quiet logic of the universe, subscribe to the channel, because understanding the test may be the first step toward passing it.